What is going on? So, it's a little bit of a different video. This is not a boot camp video. This is just a video that I'm gonna record. This is a video of me basically going over the data that I've been collecting on my Pump Fun Sniper bot. So I've been running this for here. I'll tell me exactly down here. Almost 18 hours now. So now it's collecting errors for some reason. Not sure why. It's probably because Claude has gone in there and started doing some work. So we'll start by going ahead, stopping the code now that we're collecting a bunch of errors, and we'll start digging and we'll start seeing. So just in the past, from 2119 to 2148, for about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, it's been collecting errors, but for the past 16 and a half hours, almost 17 hours, it's been collecting data, and we have tons of wins in here. So it's going to be interesting. Tons of wins, tons of losses. So it's going to be interesting to go through the data, to see what the graduations, what they turned out to be, whether they were wins, losses. It's going to be interesting. So this is the second pass of data that we've ran. The first pass was kind of redundant. We didn't collect exactly what we needed to collect. There were some things missing. The rug system of the code that we written just totally didn't work at all. So we're going to dig right into the second day of data. Also, another cool thing that we did, the first pass of data, it took us 5 days. It took us almost, I think it was between 4 and 5 days, almost 5 days to collect, I don't even, close to 250 lines, if even 250 lines. So now with this pass, we've collected well over 300. We collected, close to 330, maybe 315, 320 in what, 16 hours, less than 24 hours. We collected well over what we did in 5 days. So we're the whole point of this, the whole point of coding, the whole point of coding these trading bots, you're never gonna make a consistent bot in the first line of code that you write. You can't just open Claude and say code me a trading bot and you're making millions of dollars a year. No, these systems, they have in-depth theories, in-depth philosophies. Like I said, like with the game, just leaked my Helix API key, which is a big no-no. If you're just getting into this, you do not want to share any API keys, any secret keys. That's your baby mama. Those are your passwords. When your baby mama's yelling at you to give you your phone password, that's exactly what you don't show her. Show her a different folder. You show her the run test, the reclassified and recost, because this is part of that system, part of that game on stake where the ball drops down and it goes in a funnel. You know what I mean? This is part of the funnel. And all of these files, all it does is starts from the top, reads the data, goes through the test, and it prints the results. And it connects to API keys. It does all different kinds of functions. The possibilities are endless. So now that we're in the correct conversation, as you see on here, Claude can do almost anything. I have all different kinds of conversations here. I go more in depth, the higher tier that you are, but with this specifically, I just want to give you guys a little taste of what I'm truly doing in here, because it's not just here's my code, figure it out yourself. No, I'm teaching you how to write your own code. All this here, I'm teaching you how to put this in the Claude and make this yourself to where you don't need me. You don't need anyone. And you can backtest any strategy in minutes. You can figure out what pump fund bots are profitable in one day. And you can curate a strategy that is automated to where there's no emotion. There's nothing tied to it. It's just straight up raw execution. And that's the entire point of coding these bots. So now that we'll stop yapping and we'll get into the interesting part of this. And is this profitable? Was the data that we just spent, 16 and a half hours collecting, was it worth it? Was there a point to any of it? And, the way that I'm talking to my Claude is going to be different than the way that you talk to your Claude at first. Excuse me. If you're just getting into coding, just getting into trading, you don't have any skills, you don't have instructions on your Claude, you don't really know what you're doing yet, then you can't just put in the Claude, hey, make me a trading bot, and it makes you a trading bot. No, that's not how it works. You have to guide AI to what you want to do, to make it do what you want to do. You have to hold its hand through writing all this code. Now, I've had years and years of knowledge and files and data and resources and information to paste into Claude to go over and make these bots within a couple prompts. But if you don't have that, then it's going to be, you know, it's not going to be a couple day project. It's going to be a couple month project, especially if you don't understand anything. If you have a general knowledge of how a blockchain works in coding, then you could easily code a blockchain bot, a sniper bot, a meth bot, whatever that case may be. But with no knowledge, you have to take the time, have the dedication to want to learn these things. So the way that I talk to my Claude, go ahead and analyze the data. You can't just do that yourself in 3 prompts. This is basically years of information and data that I have put together so I can just go ahead and analyze the data, you know. So you have to build it. You have to get to that point, You have to start somewhere. And it snowballs. Everything snowballs. So don't get discouraged if you're just starting out. Like I said before, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that have bought in Claude and were never funded just because they don't know how to prompt it correctly, or just because they've never opened settings and they've never seen the special instructions you can give it, or they've never opened Claude Code. They don't even know what coding is. They don't even care to look into how to code or what you can code and what are the possibilities, because if you just looked at a couple videos, or if you just heard someone talk about the possibilities and what you can do with coding trading bots and how, you know, how pretty much how simple it is, then you would have been asking yourself, why haven't I been looking into this? Why haven't I been heard about this? So that's hopefully what I'm doing here. Hopefully I make it to where it's super easy for you to understand, super easy for you to grasp. With the course, with even just the tier 1, I give so much knowledge with algo trading and just trading in general, to where if you know nothing, I'm sure with your own time and your own dedication, within a couple months, you could be profitable. I've seen it before. I've took someone that knew nothing about trading, taught them a little bit day by day, and they've gotten their first payout within 4, 5, 6 months. So I know it's possible. All it takes is time and dedication. So now let's go ahead and analyze the data. And then I just cannot type today for whatever reason. I don't know if it's me, if it's my keyboard, but dear Lord. Now we wait. Now you can do a couple things while Claude prompts itself. You can scroll reels. You can work on other things. You can have multiple conversations going on. Like, for example, as I'm working on running through this data for all the coins that we just collected, I'm also having Claude make a day 5 slideshow for my bootcamp. So as soon as I'm done recording this video of what's going on with the sniper bot, I can just immediately hop into the bootcamp and make the bootcamp video. Claude can be used for so many different things. I have 2 Claude accounts. just because I don't want to pay for the max yet. Once I get to that point, I'm more than willing to pay for the max, and I plan on paying for the max subscription until something better comes out than Claude, which it may not be for a while. I mean, as you've seen with Fable 5, people were making Minecraft with one prompt in Fable 5. I mean, how powerful it is to where the government had to tell Claude to not release it to the public anymore, to take it off and make it unavailable. That's just insane to me. That's so crazy. Cause I since 2024, like the beginning of 2024, so for like 2.5 years now, it's just been I hit such a brick wall between trading and coding. You get to a point where, okay, you can watch as many videos as you want, but how do I really execute this bot or execute this backtester to print the truth? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm master coder, master negotiator, master trader, because I'm not. I'm no scientist. I didn't graduate college. I'm not working for JP Morgan. I'm some kid in his room, but I'm taking the time to understand these systems and build these systems to be lie proof. My skills in Claude are lie proof. They refuse to guess. They will only pull truthful information. And if it cannot pull truthful information, if my Claude cannot be certain, it'll say it's not certain and it'll go against exactly what it's doing. So it takes time. You have to start somewhere. You can make a backtester, but is that backtester really telling you the truth? Is that backtester doing what it's supposed to do? Is it reading all the stocks that it would be trading within the past 20 years? Or is it only reading the winners? These are the things that take time to realize and understand and learn how to build correctly, because I can't tell you how many backtesters I built at first that printed 900,000% returns, and I thought I was going to be a millionaire. I thought I figured it out. And then I went and put it into a live system, a live broker, and I watched $100 turn into zero quicker than I ever have before. So basically, what we found in this data is that the strategy that we intentionally planned on using the first pass probably wasn't the most profitable. So we went with two different strategies. We went on entering a coin or buying a coin as soon as it graduates versus waiting 10 minutes until it graduates and seeing if it goes to 100% or if it rugs. And it looks like the wait and confirm version is rolled out. And that's a real, if small, break. So now, with the data that we just collected, we know not to build, or not what we don't need to build with the bot, essentially. What we need to rule out, what we need to exclude from our bot. Whereas if we just went with the first pass of data, we would have put this into a live bot and we would have been unprofitable. We would have lost well over what we were supposed to make. Of this group, of me making this is the whole point of me charging anyone money, is to show you how to stop losing money, how to stop that constant cycle of finding repetitive losing trades and losing strategies. And once you find that winning strategy and once you find that profitable strategy, automate it. Put it into a bot to where there's no emotion. It's pure execution the second that it happens. You can be in Cabo getting your feet rubbed while your bot's trading for you, making millions of dollars a month. Like there's some people out there doing. There's nothing stopping you from getting there. The only thing stopping you from getting to that point is you. I'm not to that point. I'm working to get to that point, but I also want people around me to get to that point with me. I won't show absolutely everything, but I'm going to show everything to make you profitable. I'm going to show everything that made me profitable. I'm going to show you and teach you everything that or the way that I learned how to code and I learned how to trade and what helped me. And I've helped people go from learning nothing to getting payouts in 6 months just by skipping all the noise, skipping all the BS. That is the whole point of this group, is to show you the wins and the loses. Because if you don't see the losses, if you don't see what loses in the market, then you're going to repeatedly run into those things. Or if you're not repeatedly, there's at some point in your time of trading or in your time of backtesting where you'll run into a strategy that you might think is profitable in a backtest, but when you really run it, it's not. It never will be, just because your backtest or your code isn't written properly. So, I've built skills. My edge hunter skill is built surrounded by testing absolutely everything when trading. It throws every single parameter at every trade, every backtest that I take, so I know if it's truly profitable or not. So if I add it to my, mint 6 bot, it's really profitable and it's really going to make me money, which is my long-term trading bot. It's not my crypto bot. Crypto is really a gamble no matter what you're doing, whether you're trading bots, whether you're just trading yourself, whether you're long-term trading, perpetual trading. It's all a gamble with crypto, but it's kind of the point with this is to find the most profitable gamble. So the most profitable gamble is going to make me the most money. So now with this, and ping roughly 500 tokens about 2 more days for round 2, the identical test. The one thing that changes the verdict is more data spanning more than one afternoon of market mood. One genuinely useful thing did firm up. Entering 10 minutes after graduation is reliably losing move. So now, with our third test now, we're going to collect 500 tokens. So within those 500 tokens, we already know that with waiting 10 minutes to enter a coin after graduating, it's not profitable. It doesn't matter if we enter 10 minutes after. So maybe we have to wait more. Maybe we have to wait less. Do we enter as soon as a graduation happens? Do we enter 30 minutes after a graduation? An hour after a graduation? So now the wait and confirm version is already rolled out. So now, with this, I can do so many different things. I can let the code run more. I can ask it to go deeper on the thesis. It wrote an entire markdown file for the analysis round 1. I didn't even have to ask it to do this. This is just how my Claude responds to me. Every single time I complete a project, every single time I make a milestone in a project, it creates a pickup file. It creates a markdown file, marking our progress, marking where we're at, marking what it's done, marking the profits, marking the losses. So we know next time we jump into a chat, do we keep this? Do we use this? Do we expand on this? Do we kill it? Do we totally delete this and burn it? What do we do with this? So you have to put it into your Claude. Claude's not going to just do this by itself. You have to take the time to learn it. If I'm going to be honest with you, it took me probably 2 to 3 15 to 30-minute videos on YouTube of, what is Claude, how to use Claude, and just the basic overall settings in UI. And then just looking up on YouTube, looking up on the resources that I have available to me to find different skills or how to build skills or different things people are building with this. I went from trying to just build a website to fully building backtesters that I've never been able to do before in full color and print with everything. Like, I mean, look at this. I've never been able to do this without Claude. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a computer scientist, because I'm not. Anyone can do this. This is the point of this. It's not to LARP. It's not to sit here and act like I'm smarter than anyone, because truthfully, I'm not. I'm the same as you. It's just I've taken the time and I have the resources that most people don't have, and I'm willing to share them. But I shouldn't be sharing them without a cost. And I think anyone would agree. Anyone in my position would agree. And it's not like I'm charging thousands of dollars. I'm not charging $5,000 to join my course. I'm charging $80. Honestly, if you paid $80 right now after watching this video with me just starting the group, you could probably get lifetime for free just because I feel like it. Just because no one really has yet. It's just starting out. So I want people to join. I want to create retention. It's the point of this video right here. So not to drag this on too much longer. This is really just kind of like a little sneak peek of what really goes on, what we're really building. It's not just some indicator, it's not just some get rich quick scheme. I'm not trying to be the next, TJR. This is really just information based. This is giving you access to information that you possibly don't have before. And for $80, I wish someone I knew personally was offering this to me for $80. I would pay more than 80, well over $80 for this. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and give you some sales pitch, but in full honesty, you know, this is nothing but data. I'm not saying, I'm not giving you a strategy that's going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, you have to make that strategy yourself. That's the only way it's going to happen. There's no such thing as a YouTuber, as someone publicly selling a course for no matter the dollar amount, that is giving you a profitable strategy just by itself. So take the time, research, backtest, implement, take the knowledge and the resources I give you and use them for yourself. Create your own bots, create your own backtesters. And if you ever need help, I'm more than willing to help. I'm more than willing to jump into the public chats, jump into the member chats, jump into a private chat. I'm willing to build anyone a bot right now. Anyone that hits me up and thinks they have a profitable strategy and wants me to build them a bot, let me know. I'm willing to test it out. I'm just getting started with this, so let me know. Thank you guys. If you're watching this, obviously you're in the group, so thank you. And I plan on doing this a lot more.